Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Also the North Central Chaplain for Broken Chains, JC. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Today is September 28th, 2025, and we are looking at Proverbs chapter 28. Can you believe this year is almost over? Just a few more months and the year will be over. It's crazy how fast things can move and how slow it can feel. You know, today as I'm looking at Proverbs 28 and specifically looking at what Solomon is teaching about what discipline is, I was reading in verse 2. And it says, when a land is in rebellion, it has many rulers. But with a discerning and knowledgeable person, it endures. And I have never gone deep into this or ever tried to figure out what that has to do with either wisdom or knowledge or discipline. You know, and those are the things that Solomon said he wrote all these for. And so as we look at the Proverbs, we should be looking for these things to know what discipline is in this verse. And as I was looking at it, I got to thinking, you know, when my life has a whole bunch of objectives, I've got to get the yard and the house ready for winter. I've got to get things prepared so that I can make that transition quickly. One of the things that I did this year was insulate the outside of the house, something that's needed to be done for years and hasn't gotten done, but I got it done this year. I have a little bit more to do, but I still also have to insulate the garage door so that it doesn't cost as much to heat the garage, because I spend a lot of time. This, by the way, where you see me every morning is my garage. It's my workshop, and it's also on the other side of that. Over there is the garage part where the 2016 Ultra Limited is parked. And I'm still working on cleaning out more space so I can get both the Electra Glide and the Ultra Limited in there. But you know, I got work to do, right? But I also have a job to do. I have a congregation to lead, and I have a lot of tasks. And I started to realize that can look like a land in rebellion. My life can feel like it's in rebellion. One piece fighting against the other, always looking for attention, always looking for the upper hand, always looking for I'm the most important. There's many rulers, it says. There's many things pulling it in different directions. But a discerning and knowledgeable person, with a discerning and knowledgeable person, it endures. And I realize that I can have all those things going on in my life. But if I have a steadfast, for lack of a better way of saying it, mission statement, I will weigh everything to that. And everything falls in line with that. And so it determines what is priority in the moment. I have a God-first attitude, or I should. The majority of the time I try to keep it there. That means that I get up in the morning and I need to know, what am I going to do first? How is that going to impact what I do next? I get up, I come out to the shop as I'm praying, and I get my coffee going, and I get my first devotional going. And I spend time in my Word, and I study, and I read, and I look at the book of Proverbs, and then I come to you. Now, I could mix all that up and start worrying about what am I going to do, because like today's Sunday, I got to make sure the sermon is polished up and ready to go. I could have come out here and just got on that because I could have called that my priority, but in the reality of things, that would have been a land in rebellion. See, God first in my life, and then all other things fall in line after that. You know, at our church, we have a mission. It's really simple. Love God, serve others. Love God, serve others. That is so easy and to say, but when the service takes over, we've lost the mission, because the first thing is love God. We can show God we love Him by serving others, but if we're not putting God first, we're putting the service of others first, we're going to miss the mark. So my question to you today is, looking at Proverbs 28 verse 2, when a land is in rebellion, it has many rulers, but with a discerning and knowledgeable person, it endures. What is your mission that overarches and keeps everything else in line? You know, even the world has this concept down, even though they don't make it a godly direction. They have a purpose and a passion for a company. They call it the mission statement, right? And everything else has to fall in line with that mission statement. All the objectives, all the tasks, all the things that are done must fall in line with that mission statement, or it's outside of it, and it will cause chaos. So, what is your mission statement? And how does it cause you to have a life that endures? Because if you don't have that, while you have a lot of good things going on, you're a land in rebellion. When I feel disheveled, when I feel pulled in 1,000 different directions, the only thing I can do is pull back in to my mission statement. God has called me to ministry, and I am first and foremost to put Him first and foremost in my life, and then everything else will flow from that. And when I get wrapped back around that, things come back in line. Just a thought for today. Don't forget, it is Sunday. You should get to church. I know some of you will be traveling today. Safe travels. I've already prayed for y'all. And I hope that you get home safely. And I'm looking forward to what's going on in your lives as you've experienced the Unity Gathering down in Arkansas this weekend. I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.